Hey everyone, James Lynch here doing a quick reaction video to the UFC 311 co-main event for the bantamweight title between Merab Dvalishvili and Umar Nurmagomedov. And if you haven't seen the fight, please go watch it because this was one of the best bantamweight fights of all time. All right, it is Merab Dvalishvili retaining his title. What a fight. I am literally speechless. This was an amazing matchup. I mean, on paper, this looked like one of the best bantamweight fights we'd ever see, but it was just so high level, so good. The wrestling, the takedowns, the striking, all of it was really, really great. Umar off to a great start. It looked like Umar was going to do what he was doing against Corey Sandhagen and just win with the striking. We find out after the fight, that Umar apparently broke his hand early in the fight, so that's why we weren't seeing a ton of striking from him. I thought that's where he'd have the edge. But as the fight went on, especially in that third round, Merab Dvalishvili started to take over. He was the much fresher fighter. We saw Umar get a bit tired in the fight. Even after the fight, you heard him panting a little bit when he was doing his interview. Credit to Merab Dvalishvili. I don't think I've ever seen a fighter that has the cardio that Merab does, that pace. Like, he looked the same in the fifth round as he looked in the first round. It's just incredible what he's able to do here. Getting the takedowns, even do a bit of, showboating in the fight. Yeah, I mean, this was like, there's nothing bad about this fight. This was a, very, very good matchup. And I'm convinced we're going to see this fight again at some point because this really won a lot of people over. Merab, and to a certain degree, Umar, they get labeled the boring label. This was not boring at all. It had a bit of everything, right? It had some striking, it had some grappling, had some wrestling. Just a really good performance. And you got to give Merab Dvalishvili his due. A lot of people were counting him out, even the betting odds, right? Even I picked against him. I'll be the first one to tell you that. He did not look like a plus 220. I mean, he won the fight, but even outside that, it was a competitive fight. I think if you had to recap this fight after the fact, this fight should have been almost even odds because it looked very even. Even the rounds that Umar won, Merab was still in there. He was, it's not like he was out of his element. It's not like he was close to getting finished, anything like that. This was just a really high level fight. I know Umar had a lot of hype. He was 18-0 going into this fight. He's 29. He's not even in the prime of his career yet. This is probably a good thing. We also heard that he had the injury sort of going into the fight as well with the arm. We'll see what happens next time, but I'm convinced these two will match up again. And who is Umar going to fight? Because whoever he fights, he's probably going to end up beating, right? So really curious to see which way they go. I really do not want to see Sean O'Malley and Merab again. I'm sorry, guys. I'd rather see O'Malley fight someone else. To me, I'd like to see Petr Yan fight Merab. Let's get that rematch. It seems like Yan's improved since their first fight. I want to see that fight. As far as who's next for Umar, I don't even know. Whoever's going to fight him, it's going to be a really tough matchup. Apparently, Davidson Figueiredo has a fight booked already. I don't want to see him fight Chito Vera. Maybe if Cejudo beats Song Yadong, that's a fight they could look at. I don't know where they're going to go here because there's no names that I suppose if Song, maybe the winner of Cejudo Song actually kind of makes sense here for for whoever gets the fight next. But either way, if you haven't seen it, well, like I said, if off the top, if you hadn't seen the fight, hopefully you had watched it. But this is one of those fights I got to rewatch again because it was just so high level and so great. And yeah, again, I think Umar still he lost this fight, but barely. That fifth round, if Umar gets a few more strikes in, he wins this fight. I know Umar Rogan was trying to pull it out of him after the fight, saying, so you think you won the fight? And he was because initially he's like, I think the judges got it wrong. It was close. I know there's going to be people, saying, oh, Merab beat him and all that, but it was razor close, very, very, very close matchup. And like I said, I think these two will fight again in the future. But yeah, just what a fight. I thought Jamal and Yuri was going to be fight of the night. I think this surpassed it. But let me know what you think of this fight in the comments. What do you think should be next for both fighters? Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. My name is James Lynch. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.